to that feel of continuous. When you're done gaining the skill and you're enhancing it by working on projects and gaining the needed industry experience, when you get the job, trust me, it's needed for you to keep abreast of the latest technology. And one thing we do at Amdari is we always populate the platform with new projects. And that means when there is a new tool in town, when there is a new technology that a data professional should be aware of, we are actually covered on that end. So we pretty much help you have that. And you know what that means? As a professional, you need to keep growing if you want to be, sought after, if you want to be indispensable, if you want to be very much if you don't want to be outdated when it comes to your skill set, you need to keep your knowledge updated at every time. So that's one thing that you can also achieve with Amdari. And it's one of the reasons why I am very passionate about what we do, because I'm a continuous learning advocate pretty much. And I love anything that has to do with growth. And yeah, that's it about me. So let me move on to our facilitator for today. Our facilitator is Adeza Suleiman. He is a co-founder of Amdari and Analytics. He's an experienced data engineer with 5 years of hands-on experience in designing, building, and optimizing robust data pipeline and architecture. Proficient in utilizing modern data tools and technology, including Python, SQL, Apache Spark, and AWS, to transform raw data into actionable insights. Adept at working collaboratively with data scientists, analysts, and stakeholders to ensure data accuracy, integrity, and accessibility across the organization. He is passionate about solving complex data challenges and driving business growth through innovative data solutions. And he has over 30,000 data professionals across the globe. Trust me, you are in the right place, and you're in good hands when it comes to learning anything that has to do with data and even transitioning. So thank you all once again for joining us. Like I mentioned, we'll be getting into the training proper. So I would hand over to Adeza. Hi, hello, sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm on. I don't know. Can you see my video? My video is on, but I don't think I can see myself.
Hear you, sir. Can anyone hear him?
Hi, Omomi.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, we can
Oh, you
hear
can
you.
hear me. I think that's my network.
All
Okay,
right.
that's my network actually.
Okay. So I think there's just something with
Yeah, I
my
can hear
video.
you now.
Fantastic. So I'll see if I can sort this out very quickly, and then we get started. Because I can see it's on from my end, but I can't see myself on the screen. I'm not sure why that is happening,
Yeah, I
unfortunately.
can't see you either.
Yeah. So you know what I would do, Omomi?
Okay.
I would log off. I'll come right back, and let's see if that works out. Okay.
All right, sir. Yeah. All right. I see some hands raised. We've not started the session, so I believe but if you have anything that you'd like to say, please just type it in the chat. We'll be taking it one at a time. So just type it in the chat, and yeah. But let's wait for Adeza to join back. Okay, he's back. Yeah, we can see you now.
Okay. Fantastic. I
All
still
right,
can't
sir.
see myself anyways. Maybe you want to pin my video or something. Hello, everybody. So
Oh,
while they're trying to sort out the technical challenges, I'm super excited to be here. And thanks for that wonderful introduction, Omomi. I don't think you'll get anybody more passionate than Omomi, working on a project with you. And we're going to have an amazing time today. And I'll walk you through the importance of having a portfolio, because this is a major area where people ignore. And if you're a data professional, especially a data analyst, a data scientist, or a data engineer, you want to ensure that you have a portfolio. And we're going to walk through that, look at the key ingredients or the key factors that will get you that winning portfolio. So you start to get those opportunities within the space. All right. So I'll kick off the session. I'll run the session with my slides. You give me the next 1 hour, and I'll give you an amazing session today. All right. One thing I'll advise you to do, if you haven't done this already, if you have a friend, you have a colleague you have a family member you think would benefit from this session, share the link with them, get them on board so that they get to experience this together with you as well. Okay, so let's get started with our session today. I'm going to introduce just a bit of my experience. Maybe I'll do a little bit more introduction about myself, and then we'll dive into the main meat of our session today. All right. Okay, just to be sure we can all see my screen. Yes, you can. So I'm a technology expert with over a decade experience within the area of data analytics, data science, management consulting, data engineering, and so on and so forth. Founded Analytics, founded Amdari, and the passion for us is to get more people that look like us into the tech ecosystem, more Africans in Africa, Africans in the diaspora, to transition into the tech ecosystem, especially within the data space. My experience spans across so many areas. I'm currently a data science consultant in Canada, worked in the US, worked in the UK, sub-Saharan Africa, Nigeria, and so on and so forth. The mission for me is, like I said earlier, to get as many people, Africans in the diaspora, Africans in Africa, into the tech ecosystem. Across the span of my career, I've worked across 5 different sectors, from financial services, educational technology, energy, automobile, and so on and so forth. And I'll be showing you how I was able to make that transition. All right? A lot of people have this wrong perception that for me to get into a specific area, I need to go into the office, I need to gain experience before I can move into that space. Experience is not just by going to a physical office or by working remotely. You can gain experience by working on projects. But Omomi has, done a fantastic job explaining exactly what Amdari aims to achieve. And the focus for us is to help you gain guided project experience. Real world projects, you get to work on these projects to build your portfolio. So I'm going to use the word portfolio so many times, guided project, and so on and so forth. But we'll deconstruct what all these things mean practically. And I'd love us to have a fantastic interactive session. Feel free to send your questions to the chat, and I'll take our time to answer as many as we can before the end of our session today. So let's dive in. Now, why do you need a portfolio? That's the first question. Why do I need to work on projects? Why do I need a portfolio? I'm a data analyst. I've learned Excel. I've learned Power BI. I know how to use Tableau. I'm a fantastic professional. Why do I need a portfolio? Well, I'm a data engineer. I've built ETL pipelines. I know how to move data from one place to the other place. Why do I need a portfolio? Now, I'm going to play out this very simple analogy. And I love to use this analogy a lot because it gets everybody to contribute to the reason why you need a portfolio. So let's start. Let's imagine you want to buy a quality couch for your living room. So maybe you moved into a new apartment or you bought your first apartment and you want to buy a couch. Now, there are 2 options for you. The first option is you get a carpenter. The carpenter has a certificate. The certificate shows that, oh, he's learned ABC. He knows how to build, couches. He's done this before. He learned this in class, and so on and so forth. That's option A, carpenter A. Carpenter B has a showroom. The showroom has physical, ready-made couches. You can go into the showroom, you can feel the quality of the couch, you can touch the couch, you can, smell the couch, you can feel the quality. You can move into the showroom, touch it, and you can see how good the couch is. And that's carpenter B, who has a showroom. Now the question is, who would you give the project to make your couch for you? To make that couch you want in your living room. And I want you to type A or B. A is for carpenter A, who has the certificates, has everything properly written in that certificate of what he's learned. And carpenter B is the carpenter that has a showroom. You can walk in there, you can touch it, you can feel it, and you know exactly what you're getting. So who would you give the couch, the project to build that couch for your living room? So let's get to see the comments in the chat. Let's see. Okay, fantastic. Almost everybody is selecting Carpenter B. So Kenny says B, Covenant, B, Chukura, Florence, Ahmed, Elijah, Nelly. Everybody says B, 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 B. Absolutely. But guess what? Most of the time, people focus on certifications. So imagine, that's the irony. Everybody feels like, for me to trust somebody, to give that person a project, to make my couch for me, I'm going to spend money and I want to get the quality that I need. I need somebody that has done it before, not somebody that has a paper that say they have done it. But people chase certificates, which is the wrong thing to do. So what do you need to do? Why do you need a portfolio? Your portfolio is what? Your showroom. You see your portfolio, that's your showroom. When recruiters are looking out to hire a data analyst, a data scientist, a data engineer, the first thing they want to look out for is this person or this gentleman or this lady, what have they built in the past? Do they have a portfolio? Do I have insights into what they can do? How good are they? So always remember this analogy and why you need a portfolio. You always need a showroom to showcase your expertise, to showcase what you can do. And that's where recruiters start to look out for you. And that's the reason why you need a portfolio, right? You struggle to get that job when you're competing with somebody who can prove that they've done it before. So it's important to establish this. Now, before we move on, I want you to give me a thumbs up because I think everybody selected B, that will give the person with the showroom. So give me a thumbs up if you agree that that's the case. So let's see the overwhelming thumbs up. So it's important that we all align and we all work with this mentality going forward. Always remember the carpenter analogy. Are you that carpenter that has a paper or has a CV that says I've done it before? Or are you the carpenter that has a showroom that you can show people what you've done, what you've built, and that's where you start to get the opportunities. Now, how do you then build a winning portfolio? What type of couches should you have in your showroom? When people come into your showroom, what should they see? How do you build that showroom that makes it attractive to recruiters out there, potential employers, when they eventually decide to visit your portfolio? And that's the essence of our session today. I'm going to walk you through 6 key pillars, or you can call it 6 key ingredients that you must have in your portfolio, in your showroom to make you attractive out there. All right. Now, number 1 is you must know what the portfolio is all about, understanding what the data portfolio means. And of course, we already have that understanding by knowing the importance of having a portfolio. So what is a data portfolio? It's only when you understand this, it's easy for you to start building and you know exactly what to build in your portfolio. So your portfolio is the proof that you've done that thing before, the proof of your experience. I'm going to elaborate on this as we move on. And Omomi gave, very fantastic explanations as to the reason why you must have a portfolio. Now imagine you've worked in the banking industry for the last 5 years. You decided to go for a data analytics training. You complete the training. You work on a few projects, and now it's time for you to start applying to get jobs. You start to realize very quickly that one of the major setbacks you'd find out there, number 1, is the fact that organizations would want you to show proof that you've done these things before. I've been on both ends. I've been an employee and I've also been an employer. And I'll tell you for free, the first thing an employer would look for is the proof that you've done it before, proof of experience. And you don't have to be in the office to gain experience. I don't need to see you work in a particular organization to get that experience. All I need to see is your portfolio. Show me your showroom. Can I see the type of project you've worked on before? And how easy is it to access that portfolio of yours? So that's what your portfolio is all about, where you put your projects that showcases your skills, your experience, and recruiters can easily access that particular environment. So once you understand this, and this goes back to, I'll use my own experience, all right? I moved to the energy sector from financial services. I worked in financial services for about 3 years before I moved into energy. How did I get that job within the energy space? I had no domain knowledge. I had no expertise, no domain knowledge. I knew nothing about the energy industry. Okay, I knew nothing when it came to experience. I had never worked in the energy space before. All I needed to do was to work on projects. So when I had interviews and questions were asked around, okay, yes, you're a data analyst. Your experience, your skills remains the same. Excel in financial services is Excel in energy. The difference is the type of problems you'll be solving with Excel. So you're a data analyst. Show me what value would you bring into our organization within the energy space? I could speak the language because I had worked on projects that were energy related. When I moved to the UK, I worked in the automobile sector. Same experience. I had worked in financial services. I had worked in energy. I wanted to transition into automobile. And what was the drive for me? The drive was the money. So if the money is in automobile, I'm going to move to automobile. If the money is in financial services, I'll move to financial services. But for you to transcend sectors and transcend industries, you must show capacity in those areas. And how do you show capacity? What's the best way to show that you can get into the energy sector and immediately start to add value? And that's where your project experience comes in. Pick one project, work on that project, properly document your project, add it to your portfolio. So when you get into that interview, or before you get into the interview, the recruiters would have seen, the hiring manager would have seen what you've worked on. And when they ask you questions, you can answer questions based on their own domain. And that was what helped me transcend multiple sectors, from financial services to energy to automobile, and even the health and healthcare analytics. I worked on a project for the UK government, and the project focused on what? It focused on reducing alcohol-related death. Death due to alcohol across the 4 regions in the UK: Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, and Wales. How do we reduce alcohol-related death? Okay, I had never worked in the health sector before, but I had worked on numerous projects across the health sector, and that was what gave me that opportunity. So if you are looking to land a job, if you are looking to move across industries, across sectors, the best way is to work on projects within that area. Okay, and like I said, we're going to break it down a little bit more as we move along. So that's number one, the first pillar. And the second pillar is working on the right project. So now you know that I need to work on projects. I know what a portfolio is. The next step is, how do I get the right type of projects to work on? And this can be very tricky. And I always tell people, the first thing you want to do is ensure that you don't work on projects that are too complex for you. So we always love to feel very intelligent and, challenge ourselves and stretch ourselves as much as we can. So we take projects that are very complex and we struggle to complete those type of projects. So take projects at your specific competence level at that particular point in time. So maybe you want to start with a beginner project, intermediate project, advanced project, and so on and so forth. And when Momish is walking you through the platform, you'd see exactly what you need to do to select projects at your specific level of competence so that you get started and you are able to complete that project at the end of the day. Other things you need to focus on is you get to realize that most of the platforms that exist out there, are not industry specific, and they are also not case-based projects. There is no business case. Or at best, even if you find a business case, you realize that the business case was just, was just whipped up, and it's nothing real. It's not a real project. It's just data sets where you get to come up with fictitious business cases to get that solved. There's so many platforms out there, Our World in Data, Cargo, and so on and so forth. So you get the data, but once you get the data, after the data, what next? How do you show that I'm working on this particular problem? And let's take the energy industry, for example. If I'm working on a project for the energy industry, what specific problem am I trying to solve? Am I trying to reduce commercial losses? Am I trying to analyze the distribution network? Am I trying to reduce technical losses within the energy space? What problem is this company facing? And what is my role in solving that problem for the company? Okay, so it must be case study based. You must work on a particular business case. You must be able to show the scope of the project you are working on. And you don't find that out. You don't find that out there. And that's one important feature you need to have in your portfolio based on the type of project that you've worked on. So they must always be industry specific. Am I working on a project for the aviation sector, energy sector, financial services, e-commerce, agriculture? What specific problem am I also trying to solve? Okay, so once you have that established, you know the problem you're solving, you've picked a specific industry or a specific sector, and you know your business case, you've properly documented your scope, the tools you've used, and so on and so forth. The next thing is you want to pick the industries or the sectors that would hire fast and also hire often. For example, financial services. Within the financial services space, insurance, the banking industry, the capital markets, and so on and so forth, they hire like nobody else. E-commerce, retail, manufacturing, these are sectors that hire all the time, and they also hire very fast. So you want to have projects in your portfolio for these specific sectors, because half of the jobs you'll be applying to would either be within the finance space, manufacturing, the technology space, and so on and so forth. So you want, or the e-commerce space. So you want to work on projects that would get you, that would get the attention of recruiters and get you to the front of the hiring managers, because you have projects that are relevant to their specific sectors. And this also helps you diversify your portfolio. So I've gotten to interact with so many people. And one thing you'll find across a whole, for those who have portfolios, eventually, you get to realize that it is one specific industry or the generic type of project you see out there, the Titanic data sets, the Iris data sets, and so on and so forth. These are very generic. I mean, if I'm hiring somebody and I go to your portfolio as a data scientist and I see the Iris data set as part of the project you've worked on, I shut down that portfolio and I push it aside because it shows unseriousness. This is a project that has been, I mean, it's a given for every data scientist. It's something you would have seen, you'd have worked on. So there is no creativity, or it will be difficult to see any level of innovation from your end working on a project like that. So you want to work on solid projects, diversify your portfolio, work on projects across multiple industries as much as possible. All right, so make sure it's industry specific, different sectors, diversify your portfolio, pick those industries that hire fast and also hire often. And like I said, I'm going to break it down a little bit further. We'll go to the platform and I'll show you exactly what to do. So we have a more practical session before the end of today. Now, once you've selected the right projects, you select the energy sector, for example, you know the problem you're solving, you know exactly, I'm going to work on energy, I'm going to work on retail and e-commerce. You know the business problems you decide to solve. The next thing you have to do is showcase your skills and techniques. Without this in your portfolio, it's just a waste. And I'll tell you what I see typically. I've asked people for projects to show me their portfolio. They send a link to me. I click on the link and it opens up, and all I see is a dashboard. There is no documentation. You haven't shown what the business problem is, the objective of solving that problem. You've not shown the project scope. You've not shown the tools that you had to use, or even, walk me through the process. How did you get your data? How did you clean your data if you cleaned your data? How did you address missing values? Did you have to transform your data? Did you build a data model? How did you select your machine learning algorithms? You have to showcase exactly what you've done. Showcase your skills, showcase your techniques, showcase the tools, and that's where the effort is. Recruiters want to see the effort you've put into the project you've worked on. So you don't just want to have projects and pictures all over the place, but you want to clearly show the hard work that you've put in. All right? Did you have to do any high dimension transformation? Did you have to deploy a neural network? How did you build your ETL pipelines, for example? Properly document your process. And this is where Amdari, I would say, beats all other players within the market. Like Omomi said earlier, the moment you complete your project, everything is properly documented for you. And we're going to go in there and you'd see the way it is structured. Because if you don't showcase your skills and all you have are pictures, which I see a lot of people do, it's difficult for me to know exactly what you've done. How did you build this dashboard? The presentation part, the data visualization part is the final. So what did you do before you got to that eventual outcome? And that's where it's important to document your process and showcase your skills. Did you use SQL? Did you use Python? Did you use Excel? Did you use Tableau? And so on and so forth. What techniques did you use? What skills did you use? What tools did you deploy? And how have you properly documented that process? Now, these first three, doing them right, getting it properly sorted out, is already 80% of the job. 80% of your job is done once you're able to cover these first three parts. You know what a data portfolio is. You find the ideal type of project, ensure you diversify your portfolio, working on different projects, picking quality industry-related projects, proper business cases, proper business problems, and you showcase how you will be solving those problems. And you are able to document your process properly and showcase every single thing you've done. The fourth phase is where you make your portfolio easy to access. And I'll give you a very quick story. I was going across LinkedIn. I was trying to hire somebody to work on a project, a data scientist. All right. And of course, you have numerous people that you will have to filter through. You have to consider when trying to recruit for a role. So there were a lot of portfolios, a whole lot of CVs and people to try to filter at the end of the day. Now, we had filtered, the hiring team, the HR team had filtered to specific, I think about 10 very quality candidates. Okay, and there was this particular lady I was interested in. I was interested in her because I went through all the LinkedIn profiles. I had seen what she's built, amazing, posts on LinkedIn, and I was very interested. She was one of the first people I would have said I would invite for an interview. But guess what? I clicked the link on her CV to take me to her portfolio. Her portfolio, first of all, was a Google Drive, and I had to request for access. So imagine you are being considered for a role. You've put the link to your portfolio on your CV, and the person that would invite you for that interview has no access to your portfolio. And these are some of the things you'd find out there. So it's either you find platforms that are not flexible enough to showcase the type of project you've worked on, or you find yourself in a situation where a hiring manager is trying to access your portfolio but has no access. And that was how the lady was dropped. Okay, because you want to assess 10 people, interview 10 people, and at the end of the day, you don't have access to what one person has done. You close that down and you shift it aside, and opportunities are lost every single day by having portfolios that are not easy to access. So it's very important that you must use a portfolio, a platform that ensures that your projects are easy to access at any given point in time. Employers must have access to your portfolios. Potential employers, unfettered access. They should be able to go into that showroom, touch the project you've worked on, feel the project, assess the quality of the project, just like that person who wants to buy a couch for their living room, going into the showroom, touching the couch, feeling the quality, and so on and so forth. All right. So many portfolio platforms are not as flexible as you want, and you don't have to also build the website. So you find people building websites for portfolios, and at the end of the day, they don't have a portfolio that is flexible enough. You have to learn how to code at some point and so on. But you don't want all that headache. You want a platform that gives you everything at a go. I complete this project immediately. I have that uploaded to my portfolio automatically. And that's what you want. And that's what Amdari also gives to you. Now, the fifth pillar of a winning portfolio is for you to be visible and audible. And I can't overemphasize how important this is. You can't build in isolation. You can't build in hiding. If you don't showcase your work to the world, how do you get found out? All right. So you have to build in public. Very, very important. People need to see what you're working on. People need to see what you're doing. As a data professional, you can't have everything done on just a piece of paper or the CV. You must have somewhere people can go to. When I go on LinkedIn, I want to see the same person I see on paper. When I go to your portfolio, I want to see the same person that I see on paper. Open up a YouTube page, talk about the projects you've built, create videos about the projects you're building. Go on LinkedIn, document the projects you've built, talk about what you've done, properly documented, and that's where recruiters start to see that you are somebody that embodies that role and you actually deserve to get into the room, at least for an interview at the least. And once you get the interview, that's a 50% chance of you landing the job. Okay, so build in public. Leverage LinkedIn as much as you can. Document your processes. And I'll show you practical ways of doing this. People that have done it and how it's opened up doors to them. One of the best places I like to hire from is on LinkedIn. And if I go on LinkedIn and all I see is, all you do is to repost what other people have posted. You say you're a data engineer, but you don't have projects. You've not documented what ETL means. You've not talked about data ingestion. You've not talked about data infrastructure within an organization, data strategy. You've not talked about these things on your own platform. How do I get to hire you? How do I know that you are the same person on paper and on LinkedIn as well? So leverage LinkedIn, build in public. If you don't have a YouTube page, open a YouTube page, post on Instagram, post on X, post on LinkedIn. Let the world know what you're building. Your portfolio is useless if nobody gets to see what you're doing. You could be the smartest, most intelligent person in the room, in your house, at the corner of your office, wherever your office is in your home. But if people don't get to see what you're building and what you're working on, it is useless. So build in public, be visible, and be audible. And the final piece of the puzzle is mentorship and community. You have to be in the community. You can't be in the data space and be in isolation. You have to be in a community with like-minded individuals, contemporaries within the space, and numerous opportunities come from them. You want to work with the best in the industry. And these are some of the things Amdari would give to you. Every single thing I've talked about. Joining the Amdari community, for example, like Omomi said, people got on real world on-site internship opportunities. They are currently working in organizations, helping them solve problems as data analysts, data scientists, data engineers. You also get opportunity to access job board. Our job board, where you get to apply to jobs, real jobs from reputable organizations. And I'll show you how you can get access to all these things. You need to be in a community, leverage the power of a community, getting access into opportunities that are within the space. And like I said, if you have these 6 pillars, you build a fantastic, brilliant portfolio. The first 3 gives you 80% of what you need. The last 3 gives you the other 20%. Okay? Because once you've selected the right type of project, multiple industries, multiple sectors, you diverse your portfolio, you've properly documented, showcasing your skills, the tools, the techniques you have leveraged. The rest is simply publishing it out there to the world. Making sure your portfolio is easy to access. You are simply just publicizing, putting it on a platform that is easy to access, like Amdari. Making sure that you talk about the projects you've worked on and direct people to go back to view your portfolio on LinkedIn, on Instagram, a YouTube page, and so on and so forth. And finally, networking, speaking to the right people, working with people that have gone ahead of you and will give you that support that you need. And also being in a community where you have amazing, amazing opportunities. So I'll take the next 30 minutes and I'll walk you through every single thing, one after the other. We've talked about them, but now you start to look at them practically. What does a portfolio look like? Once I build a portfolio, what does it look like? Because I've just been speaking in abstract, but now it's time for us to see visually what the portfolio looks like. When I build a portfolio, how does it appear, and so on. So let's start from number 1. What is that portfolio? Your data portfolio, we've talked about this already. This is your showroom of the projects and the work you've done. Organizations, recruiters, hiring managers should have easy access to these work that you've done. And this is your proof of experience, your proof of work. And it shows that you can do the job and you're the best person for the job. All right. The Amdari platform has 3 major career paths: the data analyst career path, the data scientist, and the data engineer, like Omomi mentioned. And your portfolio would look like this, something like this. All right. I'm going to go to the platform very quickly and we'll see what a portfolio looks like. So when I talk about portfolio, you working on projects, it is easy for you to start to understand visually what it means. So once you have your link to your portfolio on your LinkedIn, the link to your portfolio on your CV, anybody who clicks on that link gets into this page. All right. And they can see about you. Okay. They can see, what's the brief summary about you and the type of projects that you have worked on. This is a cohort analysis for assessing customer retention in an e-commerce industry. This is you scraping data using effective extraction and database integration. All right. And this is you transforming data into working in a financial, services company with AWS and within the manufacturing sector as well. So people can see who you are. They can see the projects you've worked on. They can view these projects. They can see what you've done, and this gives them insight into what you've built. So let's quickly go. I'm quickly going to go into the profile, and let's look at this together very quickly. So first of all, once you go to amdari.io, okay, Amdari, AMDARI.io, it takes you to the Amdari platform. All right. So once you get into the platform, you can access your own dashboard. If I go to my dashboard, for example, I click on this, it takes me into my dashboard. All right. Now, these are the projects I've worked on, but I want to see my portfolio. What does my portfolio look like? Okay. All you need to do, if you click on portfolio at the left-hand side, or Mom is probably going to do a very quick walkthrough across everything. But you can see clearly, you can change and edit your profile. Who are you? What are you all about? What type of projects have you worked on? And so on. This is a customer retention project where you are carrying out cohort analysis. For example, here you work with Wikipedia data. It's a data scraping project where you are doing what? Extracting, getting the data into a database, and so on. So you see all the projects you've worked on. All right. Strategic alliances on each, elevating supplier collaboration for mutual growth at Sparkles Incorporated. Now, what I can do easily, somebody's saying they can't see my screen. Or Mommy, please confirm you can see my screen. All right, brilliant.
Yes, we can see your screen. I think that's his network. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what you want to do is simply click on, you can share, for example. If I click on share, I can share my profile on any of the social media platforms right here. On WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on X, and so on. Or I can simply copy the link, click on copy link, put it on my CV, and if somebody else clicks on this, okay, so let's get here very quickly. If somebody else clicks on this, so let's say I paste this in a different browser. I'm a hiring manager. I've seen the link to Adeza's portfolio. I click on it and it brings me to the portfolio. So I can see who Adeza is, experienced data engineer in Python, SQL, Spark, and so on and so forth. And I can see the project Adeza has worked on. And I can easily click on it. I can view this project, for example, and see what the project is all about. And this is where you get amazing, amazing value. For example, you have the business problem. I talked about that earlier. You must be solving a problem for an organization. It must be a business case. There must be a problem you're solving. The rationale for the project itself, the aim of the project, the description of the data you are working with, the tech stack you're going to deploy solving this problem. You're going to work with Python largely, the NumPy libraries, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, and so on and so forth. And you also have the scope. And this is where recruiters start to see the level of work you've put into what you've done. Okay, so you carried out EDA, exploratory data analysis, your feature engineering, model development, model evaluation and selection, and so on. And you also have the opportunity to upload the documents, the files that you used working on this project. And you also have, dashboards to represent what you built. And this is where people start to see, without speaking to you, I can go into the projects you've worked on and I can assess those projects and tell how good you are. All right. And I can do that across all the projects you have worked on. I can connect with you. Okay. I can connect with you on different platforms, click on about you, read what you've done. And you can even add your experience, which would be your profile on this page at the end of the day. So this is what it looks like. And this is how amazing you have everything in one place properly documented. So this is what your portfolio would look like. Your portfolio has to be properly structured. And if you look at the type of project, you see that you have e-commerce. Here you have, this is a project across, it's a general related project. This is for the manufacturing sector. This is for the financial markets, and you start to see this is supply chain and analytics. So you start to see project that cuts across multiple sectors, multiple industries. And that's where you want to be. You want to have a portfolio like this as a data analyst, as a data scientist, and as a data engineer. All right. And finally, before I leave this page, you don't need to have all this, you don't need to have all the knowledge in the world. All you need are the basic skills, and you need to start building those skills by working on projects. That's the best way adults learn. Adults learn using the andragogy model, which emphasizes a whole lot on hands-on practice. Okay, we are kinesthetic individuals, kinesthetic people, which means we love to learn by doing. What you do, it sticks to you and you remember, forever. And that's why working on projects cements those skills for you. Now, we also talked about working on the right type of projects, right? And this is where, like I showed you earlier, you have industry-specific projects. And all these are on the platform. I'm sure Momi would walk you through. You can work on energy-related projects, financial services, e-commerce, and so on and so forth. And you even have, manufacturing, and these are the type of, industries you can work on. You pick some quality-related industry projects. Let's say you pick energy, for example. You work on a distribution network analysis project. You work on what? The energy market resilience metrics analysis, renewable energy forecasting with grades and machine learning. So these are all energy related projects. So if you are looking to break into the energy space, you want to work for some of the largest energy companies across the globe, you want to have projects under your belt that shows that you can get to do these jobs. And these are screenshots for the platform, industry-specific projects, cutting across multiple areas. And of course, remember, you want to pick sectors that hire fast and hire often. So you want to look at energy, manufacturing, e-commerce, and this is how you select your projects based on what? The industries. Okay, and we talked about this earlier. This is just showing you a visual representation of how you get to select and what you need to do. Now, once you get into the aspect of showcasing your skills and techniques, this is where you want to properly document. And like I showed you earlier, when I went to the platform, you have the business problem. There must always be a business case. What problem are you solving? Is it a real business case? Is it something you're just passionate about? What type of data did you get? Is it a real world project? And this is where you need to get those things properly documented. So if you look at this, like I showed you earlier, you have the overview, you have the rationale for the project, you have the project scope, and every single thing you've done. You must showcase your skills and showcase your experience. All right? Once you've done this, of course, you want to showcase the skills and tech stack. So what tech stack did you deploy on this project? I used the NumPy library, I used the Pandas library, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn. I used some supervised machine learning or unsupervised machine learning model. I built some neural networks and so on and so forth. You want to properly structure all the different tools you leverage. And of course, you also want to show the scope and complexity of what you've done. If you did any high dimensional transformation, if you leveraged any advanced techniques in what you've done, you also want to properly document that. And that's where you see the project scope, like I showed earlier. You have your project scope. Okay, if you go to the project, and this is the recruiter at the other end looking at what you've done. They can look at your scope and see what you've done. Okay, you leverage EDA, feature engineering, model development, model evaluation, and selection. All right, so it's clear that you can see what you've done. And of course, you also want to ensure that your portfolio is easy to access. And like I showed you earlier, you want to have the opportunity to share your link across multiple platforms. I can copy the link, share it in the chat, and everybody has access immediately. And you can do exactly what I'm doing. If you don't have a portfolio like that, you'll struggle to get people to see what you've done. Okay, you want multiple ways for people to connect to you, connecting to you on LinkedIn, connecting to you on Facebook, and so on and so forth. And you can integrate all of this from your portfolio to your social media platform. And of course, you want to be visible and audible. For this one, we're going to go on LinkedIn to see what people have done. People like Ololade, people like Oluwatosin, Ibrahim, amazing professionals. Some of them might be on the call right here. And what they've done is document every single thing they've done on LinkedIn. Okay, so if, for example, we click on Ololade, let's see what Ololade has done. She's sharing, hello data farm. I'm thrilled to announce the completion of my second project with Amdari. What's the project title? Empowering decision makers, innovative sales, data visualization through interactive dashboards. Let's click on this and let's see where it takes us to. Okay, so I'm going to use, I don't want to sign in right here. So I'll just use a different browser so that it pops up immediately and I don't have to sign in. Okay, so let's go back to Ololade's page, and all I need to do is click on what Ololade has done, and we can get into Ololade's LinkedIn, see what she's done clearly and interact with it. So this takes us to Ololade's profile. All right, it takes us to Ololade's profile on LinkedIn. So for any professional looking to hire a data analyst, and they see that Ololade is building, and she's building in public, she's very audible, talking about what she's done, documenting it properly, and even showcasing the completion of this particular project. And you can see the engagement she's gotten from people. All right, well done. The next person that will just be telling you well done might be the person that will hire you. And I can't tell you how many times I see things like this. And this forms the initial step to hiring that person. You see what the person has built, you send the person a message. I would love to have a conversation with you. When will you be available? And that's where the hiring process starts from. So you want to build a public. You want to be like Ololade, posting what you've done, showcasing what you've done. Somebody like Ibrahim, for example, you click on what Ibrahim has done, and you can see clearly the type of projects, how he's documented his, project online for everybody, for the world to see. So remember, you always want to build in public. Okay, so this is Ibrahim talking about my work from week 2, trend setting in the fashion retail. Okay, so he worked on a fashion retail project, harnessing the purchase history and trends for inventory excellence. And what did he use on this particular project? Utilize the Google Looker Studio to analyze sales and inventory. And you can see the dashboard he built completing this project. The second one is seasonal insights for enhanced booking strategies at Blue Horizon gateways. So this is for a particular company within the travel and leisure hospitality space, probably a hotel, and he's showing what he's been able to build for them. You can come in here, click on what he's built, have access to it, have a feel of what he's done, and you can see clearly the depth of his skills. Building this using Looker, a tool that most people don't leverage. Looker Studio. Most people are used to Power BI, Tableau, but you're not used to Looker Studio. And of course, finally, how do you leverage your network? Okay, and we talked about people that got internships, for example, somebody like Kashmir, someone like Nana, and so on. So you see professionals within the community. Kashmir is even here. Kashmir secured, an internship by being a part of the Amdari community. Being a part of the community, Kashmir was able to secure an on-site internship with Mustard Insights. He's currently on the roll, working for them, helping them solve problems. And this is how you access opportunities. And what happens afterwards? Kashmir does a great job for the company. He gets hired and retained. Same with Nana. If Nana, if you're here as well, give me a thumbs up. Nana also securing on-site internship with a real company, go into the office, work hybrid, work remotely, work physical, and so on and so forth. And this is, somebody who has a particular problem. She's trying to write a DAX expression, okay, on Power BI, and she has a challenge. And all she needed to do was send a message to the WhatsApp group. And this is another amazing lady who is giving her possible solutions to the problem she's trying to solve. And this is the importance of being part of a community. All right. And you also have access to sessions like this. So these are free sessions. You being here today, listening to me, walking you through all the things you need to do to have that amazing portfolio. You have access to the free sessions. You also have access to the paid exclusive sessions by being a part of the Amdari community. This is a session that was taken by somebody who's worked with Amazon, for example. You learn how to write the perfect CV as a data professional. You also get to learn what can easily disqualify you, the common mistakes. And we have these sessions on a weekly basis, at least 2 every week. And you also have a fantastic professional walking you through how to move from being an intern to a data professional. What do you need to do? All right. So you have access to these numerous opportunities from time to time. And first of all, what you want to do is to be a part of the Amdari community. All right. Go to the website, engage with us on Instagram, engage with us on Twitter, engage with us on LinkedIn. Be a part of the community. Join the Amdari community. So you are a part of what we are building, and you get real-time information at every point in time. I'm going to summarize all the things I've been saying right from when we started by saying this. If you don't have a minimum of 10 quality projects in your portfolio, you are likely not going to get hired. A minimum of 10 quality projects. You could have more, but you must have a minimum of 10 quality projects in your portfolio. And this is where organizations start to see that you are the right person for the job. If I'm going to select a couch from this showroom, I have the opportunity to look, view, touch, and feel multiple couches and decide the extent to which you can get this job. All right. So remember, you don't want to be that person that focuses on only having a certificate. You want to show competence, because competence is what gets you the job. And competence includes, when you look at competence includes your skills and your experience. Okay, and the best way for you to build your skills, show the skills you have, is through projects. The best way to build your experience as a data professional is also through projects. And that's why it's important to work on as many projects as possible, build a portfolio, showcase that portfolio to the world. All right. Also remember, as I wrap up, experience is not just about going to the office. It's not about clocking in and clocking out of the office. Experience is about the skills and the projects you are able to master. If I look at an energy distribution project you've worked on, I can tell clearly that you know what you're doing or not, because I've worked in the energy space. If I look at a project you've worked on within the financial services space and so on, I can tell clearly that you know exactly what you're doing. And you would also have the opportunity to speak to using the right terms, the right terminologies, and the solutions based on that specific industry you are just about to join. So if you want to crisscross, transcend industries and sectors, you want to focus on building projects and mastering those projects. All right. Finally, you want to be a part of Amdari, because this is where you unlock the opportunities. Before I even come here, let me do a very quick poll. If you've had a great time so far, give me a thumbs up or just type in a yes into the chat. Let's get to, I've been the only one talking for a very long time, so let me get to hear from you. If you've had a great time, Give me a thumbs up before we go on. Fantastic. Pamela says yes. Mohammed says yes. Covenant, absolutely fantastic. Like I said, today's session will be short and straight to the point. Always remember, you don't want to reinvent the wheel. You simply want to work on what works. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Work on what works. And this is what works based on experience from different angles. And this is where you get the opportunities. So you can be part of the Amdari community by getting the free access. The moment you register on Amdari, you get to work on projects for free, but just 6 projects. The maximum you get to work on would be 6 projects. So you have access to 6 projects for free on Amdari. But this is not where you start to unlock your opportunities. You always want to work on more projects. You want to always revamp your portfolio from time to time. So if for the first 6 months or the first 3 months, you have a couple of projects, 10 projects that you share with people, the next 3 months, you want to have another set of fantastic projects. And this is where you start to look at joining the Amdari monthly package. And I have an amazing discount for you. I know I haven't talked about the discount yet, but I have an amazing offer for everybody that has joined and stayed until the end of our session today. So you have the monthly package where you can access over 200 projects at a time. You have over 1,000 hours of guided work. You have your videos. You can watch those videos, complete the project, and so on and so forth, and get access to numerous technologies from Power BI to Microsoft Azure to AWS, leveraging different packages and libraries like Airflow, Apache Spark, and so on. All right. You also have access to all our employability sessions. So the sessions where we show you how to build your CV, the LinkedIn profile of a data professional, mentoring sessions or what you need to do, how to answer questions during interviews, what you should say and what you should not say. You have access to that as well. You have the biannual package, which is for 6 months. And this is where you have everything in the monthly package. And you also have access to our templates. So when you see your Python notebook, the Python notebook on the platform, you have access to that notebook. You can rework the notebook and you have access to those templates. You get a reference letter from us that shows that you've worked with Amdari. So on your CV, you can clearly show that I have worked with Amdari. Okay, I've worked with Amdari as a data engineer. You add that to your CV, and Amdari is registered in Canada, Alberta, Canada. Okay, so you have that on your CV, and this makes you more attractive to recruiters out there. You have one-on-one LinkedIn optimization access, one-on-one support, customer support, and one-on-one career coaching sessions. And this is the biannual package for $600. The monthly package is for $100, and you have the free package. But like I said, I have an amazing offer for everybody, and I'll unlock that offer in the next few seconds. And the final package is the annual package for a full year. And what makes this amazing, and this is a package where Kashmir, Nana, and other professionals got the opportunity to access their internship. So you have a guaranteed internship placement. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're in the US, you're in Canada, you're in the UK, you're in Nigeria, you have access to internship. So you get to work with a reputable organization where you put all the skills you've built, you've learned on the platform, you put it to work in the real world. You work with a real company, either remotely or on site, and you help them solve real world problems. So you have everything in the biannual package. You have interview preparation sessions. So when you have interviews, we work with you to prepare you for those interviews. You have on-the-job support, and you have access to a one-on-one mentor. So you have one-on-one mentorship access across multiple professionals that we have within Amdari. All right. I'm going to share the discount code with everybody, and the discount is a whopping 50% discount across all the different packages. So for the monthly package, instead of $100, you get to pay just $50. For the biannual package for 6 months, instead of $600, you get to pay just $300. And for the annual package, instead of $1,200, you get to pay just $600. And I'll show you exactly how to unlock these opportunities. And finally, the code lasts for just 48 hours. So for those interested, I'll share the discount code in the chat with you, or you can simply just copy it down. It's 10STDNT. All right, 10STDNT. But I'm going to copy that, post it in the chat, and that's the discount code you apply towards the end of your, the checkout process of you making payments. Okay, so you have access to the link as well. My colleagues will share the slides with you. They'll post the link to getting onboarded into the Amdari platform by simply clicking on that link, and it takes you into Amdari. You get to create your profile, you get to create all of this, and so on and so forth. Okay. Again, it's important that you want to jump on this offer, all right, because the discount ends within the space of 48 hours. So I'm going to quickly walk you through exactly what you need to do, how to access the discount code, and then we take questions, and Omar will walk us through, the platform one more time for those who have questions. All right. So if you click on this link, for example, it takes you straight into the Amdari platform, and you can see the plan that suits your need. All the things I said from the free package, where you have access to 6 projects. All right. So the moment you're done with 6 projects, you lose access to the platform, but your portfolio still remains there for free. You can access your portfolio for free. Once you've created your portfolio, you don't need to pay, every month to access your portfolio. So the portfolio is there for you for free. The only difference is you can't work on more projects to add to that portfolio. The personal for 1 month is $100. Okay, but with the coupon code, you get access to 50%. So let's take, for example, I want to pay for the monthly package. Of course, for those paid in Naira, that's the equivalent of 40,000 Naira for 1 month. So instead of paying, $100, you get 50% discount and get to pay just 40,000. So how do you do this? If I click on Get Started, it takes me to the platform. And all I need to do, I can change the currency right at the top. All right, so I come in here. If I'm in Nigeria, for example, I type in NGN to show me the Naira equivalent. So this shows me 80,000 Naira, correct? Which is the full amount. But instead of paying 80,000 Naira, I want to take advantage of the discount. So I simply click on subscribe, and then I have the opportunity to enter my discount code. So this is where I will copy the discount, or I simply just type it in, 10STDNT. All right. And the moment I type it in, I click on apply. Okay, I think, sorry, let me write it properly. STDNT. Is it case sensitive among me? So let's click on apply. Okay, so it's case sensitive. All right. So the moment you type in the discount code 10STDNT, you'd see the 50% discount. So instead of paying 80,000, you get to pay just 40,000 to get access to the platform for a full 1 month. And you can work on as many projects as possible within the space of a month. You come in here, you enter your name. So I enter my name, Adeza Suleiman. I enter my email, adeza@amdari.io. Enter your phone number and click on pay for product. So the moment you click on pay for product, you enter your card details. You are paying in Naira, you have multiple options. You can pay using USSD, you can pay using OPay, we can pay, doing a transfer, and so on and so forth. So you just enter your card number, okay, your details of your card, and get to pay the 40,000. Now, if I want to pay the biannual or the annual, let's go to the annual, for example. So the annual is $1,200, but I have the opportunity of securing the 50% discount where I get to pay only 600. So if I click on get started, it takes me to the same platform, all right? And this is where I also enter the discount code. So I want to pay in Naira or I want to pay in dollars. You can select the currency and you get to see it. If I'm paying in dollars, for example, it's 1,200. If I'm paying in Naira, that gives me 960, but I have a 50% discount, right? So I click on subscribe and then I enter my discount code, okay, 10STDNT, and then you click on apply. And the 960 turns to what? 480. So the annual plan gives you access to guaranteed internship. You'll be placed in a specific organization based on the location, all right? You also get access to one-on-one interview prep, one-on-one mentorship, and so on and so forth. And that's the way you can get access to that. So remember, the discount is available only, the code is available only for the next 48 hours. All right, so take advantage of it, build a platform where you have access to everything you need as a data professional. I'm going to drop into the chat and take questions before Omologi jumps in. So awesome session. Though I'm a Scrum Master, Agile Project Manager, no knowledge is lost. Absolutely. You need to be here, Osborne. It's beneficial to everybody. So while we don't have projects for every single career path, the plan is to build and onboard more projects as time goes on. For the data analysts, data scientists, data engineering, you're always going to get new projects every single month. About 25 to 50 projects would be onboarded every single month and would also unlock more career paths eventually. Okay. Let me see more questions. What's the difference between Amdari and Tenalytics? Tenalytics is where you go to learn the skills. If you don't have knowledge, if you want to become a data analyst, for example, I want to learn Excel, I want to learn Power BI, I want to learn SQL, I want to learn Tableau, I want to learn problem solving, I want to become a data analyst, you go to Tenalytics. All Tenalytics participants would have access to Amdari when they get to their internship, parts of things. All right. So you learn the skills with Tenalytics. But let's assume you've learned somewhere else. You've learned Excel somewhere. You've learned Power BI. You have the skills, but you don't have project experience. You're struggling to get interviews because you don't have a portfolio. You don't have projects that shows that you can do the job. That's where Amdari comes in. You come to Amdari to gain real world experience, project-based experience, and you build your portfolio and you're able to showcase this to recruiters. All right. So we saw a gap in the market where you have so many people, they come to us, they have these skills, but they can't put the skills to practice. I'm good with Excel. Let me see what you've done with Excel. There is nothing to show for it. I'm good with Python as a data scientist. Show me what you've done before. You really can't show anything. All right. So that's where Amdari comes in to help you build that real world project-based experience. I hope I answered that question. Okay, mommy had even tried to answer the question already. I guess this is for people already equipped with the skills. Yes, Kasali, you can't work on projects if you don't have the skills. Okay, so you can also build the skills working on the project. Okay, but preferably you want to have the skills to jump on it. Olawumi is asking, what would you advise someone looking to build a portfolio to land internship or entry level role? Is it better to focus on particular industry or work on projects across different industries? You want to work on projects across industries. And allow me, there is nothing like entry level. It doesn't exist in data analytics, data science, or data engineering. Now, imagine you spend 1 year, allow me, working on projects with Amdari. You work on, let's say, about 50 projects on Amdari within the space of a year. You also get to intern with a company working on real world problems. Say you take the annual package, for example, and you compete with another person who has been in the industry for 5 years, but you have multiple skills and experience because you worked on numerous projects. Who gets the job? If you are able to outperform that other person that has 5 years, you get the job. All right? Because you've worked on the project, over 50 projects within the space of a year. You've had people, professionals to work with you. You know how to answer questions. You know what to say during interviews. Every single data role would be assessed. Your skills will be assessed. You'd have a case study or you'll be given a data set to work on. The person that does the best job gets the job. So there is nothing like entry level. You want to work on yourself as much as you can to be so good that when you get into rooms and when you get assessed on the skills that you have, you are the preferred candidate that the organization will go for. All right. So I think these are some of the questions we have. I think I have somebody's hand up. I'll take 2 more questions and then I'll go back to Omomi before we call it a day. Samsudin, I'll take questions from Samsudin and Juwon, and then I'll circle back to Omomi for us to wrap up today. Okay, so Samsudin, please go ahead. Omomi, I don't know if you can get Samsudin to unmute himself and ask his question.
Okay. Hi, Tomiwa. If you're there, please give the participants access to unmute themselves.
Yes. So Samsudin, try if you can unmute. If you can unmute, please go ahead and ask a question. Let's hear from you.
Can you unmute yourself now?
Or
Okay,
Juwon?
yes, they can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Samsudin, go ahead and unmute. Let's hear from you. Or Juwon, if you can unmute, please go ahead. Let's hear from you, Juwon.
Okay, hello. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead, please.
All right. Thank you for your presentation. Very, very fantastic presentation. I'm currently on the Amdari website, and I see some interesting projects I want to do. But I heard you say that we'll have access to a minimum of 6 projects.
Yes.
I currently have access to just 2 of them.
Yes.
Something about me upgrading to pro.
So 2 projects per career path. So in the data analytics career path, you have 2 projects. Data science, you have 2 projects. Data engineering, you have 2 projects. So that makes it 6 projects altogether.
Okay, that clears that up then. That clears that up. All right, that's fine. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Juwon, for that question. So Omomi, I'll leave it to Omomi to answer the rest of the questions and probably walk us through, getting onboarded, creating your account, and so on. So Omomi, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And thank you all for staying till this very part of the session. I'm sure we all gained so much insight. I mean, I've been seeing comments and it's so good to see. So thank you all. And I believe that most of your questions have also been answered. And I'll just do a very quick walkthrough of the platform because Adeza has already showed us quite a number of the aspects of the platform and what you can gain. But there's also another part that we're very particular about. So we typically say when people are done taking a particular training and they have successfully gained the needed skill and transitioned into the space, The next thing is to work on projects to gain the needed industry experience. When you're done with that, you still have to, start searching for jobs and all that. Then we took it a step further and said, let us even make it a lot more easier. Let's give you access to internship opportunities. We have hiring partners. These are real organizations. So with Amdari, it goes beyond just a job simulation or anything like that. It's real job placements. So it can be on site, it can be remote, and it can be hybrid. So we took it a step further, like I mentioned, and we are making it easy for people to gain internship placements. And we've mentioned this, but it would also be good to hear from one person who has gotten that internship. I would have even played like three, but because of time, I'm only going to be playing one video for us today. So just permit me to quickly show this. We have the likes of Chidera, who has also gotten internship last week. So it's like weekly someone gets an internship placement. The previous week I mentioned that Nana and Kasmil got an internship placement. This the last week we already have um Chidera, who got an internship placement with a film tech company. So it goes beyond just one industry for us. So let's hear from Nana quickly.
My name is Sarah Fidos Abdurrahim, and I am a data analyst. I found Amdari after my internship with Data Science Nigeria. The link was shared in the interns group by the project manager. So I checked the website and found interesting real-world projects from manufacturing industries to healthcare industry. I mean, the projects are just so fascinating that I stayed up all night to complete some of them. So my dedication and the quality of my work got me noticed by Amdari team, which then landed me my current internship with Hospitals Connect, a company that connects people with healthcare facilities seamlessly. I am so grateful to Amdari because this would have been possible without the help of Amdari platform, which helped me in building my portfolio and experience. So thank you very much, Amdari, and I highly recommend Amdari to anyone looking to gain real life experience in data analytics, data engineering, and data science. And you can also get access to internship placements like I did.
All right. I believe we heard everything she said, right? One thing that I want us to pick from what she said is the fact that the opportunity was shared on the group of Data Science Nigeria. That's a training organization. It was shared by their project manager. So even training organizations see how valid the problem that Amdari is solving is. The problem was solving is valid and it's major. At the time that she reached out, checked out Amdari, she did not know that there is an internship opportunity. Trust me. To her, it's just a platform that helps her to gain the needed industry experience. The training organization where she gained her skill from know that okay, beyond what we've trained you, you need to further equip yourself and work on projects. This is our recommendation. This is a resource. So if any training organization is even sharing resource platforms to their students, they will be mentioning Amdari, because Amdari is that platform that helps you to, finish what you started as a training organization. That was what Data Science Nigeria did for their students. And at the end of the day, she came to work on projects. She gained an internship placement just after how many months of jumping on the platform. The same thing applies to a couple of people. Some people will say, oh, I saw it in a community of data professionals. It's been within the space and even friends and family and stuff like that. So this validates the problem that Amdari is solving. If a training organization is already telling you to jump on Amdari, it's already sharing the link on the training group, you already know that there's so much value. So like I said, beyond everything else that we're doing, we also make sure that internship placement, because when we're done training, the next thing is we want to get jobs. I remember when I was starting out freshly in the tech space, trust me, I was very curious. I'm a very curious person, and before I even had the exposure I needed in the real world scenario now, I was done training, and then I had just started working on projects here and there, building this platform, building that platform. I didn't know that that was going to add to my chances in any way. When I went to intern, like I'm going here to be an intern, and they are telling me that your portfolio is what actually sealed the spot for you. Like not anything you said, not any of that. But what we've seen you do just shows that beyond everything else, you have the zeal. That was just the validation. I like that was it, and I got the job. Like guys, it goes beyond words when we say work on projects, build experience, have a proof of what you have done. So let me share my other screen quickly so that I'll just, just walk you through what the platform itself looks like when you have started working on projects. We mentioned that it's guided, so you see it for yourself that it is really guided, and also how you can submit your just a minute. All right. Please let me know once you can see this particular screen. Okay. Okay, you can see this screen, right? This one. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, okay, great. All right, so this is
All
the
right, so
page where you, okay. All right, so this is the page where you see all the projects that we have.
that we
Like we
have.
mentioned, they cut across data analytics, data science, and data engineering. And then there are tools here for you to see: Data Studio, Docker, Excel, Git, Google Colab, Linux, Looker Studio, MongoDB, like all of that, Python, R, and quite a number of more projects tools, including SQL. And it cuts across different levels. Some people would ask us, oh, but I'm just starting out, I'm a beginner, I just finished taking my courses. Can I work on projects on Amdari? Yes, you can. This is a beginner part. You can select beginner and it will just filter. You can see it just filters the projects that falls under beginner for you. You see data science, you see data analytics. If you go to intermediate, you also see projects that fall under it. Distribution network analysis, for example, falls under that. The same thing with industry, energy industry, logistics, healthcare. And the good part is we've been able to secure internship for people in healthcare, film tech. The person that got internship placement last week got it with a film company, which is in the entertainment industry. So that's how beautiful the opportunities are with Amdari. So even e-commerce, manufacturing, banking, and all of that. And when you come to specialization also, it also cuts across different aspects. So let me quickly click on this project, for example. So when you select a project, you're going to see there's an introductory video here. When you click, it just tells you what to expect in the project. Then you see your key learning points as well, like exploratory data analysis, capacity assessment, network optimization, and all of that. And you get to see the overview of the project, the rationale, the aim, the data description, tech stack, project scope, and all that. If I click on continue project, because I've already started this particular one. So if you click on it, it brings you to the page where you can watch the guided project. First off, you can download your data set from here. We mentioned that this data set is from real businesses. So they are not just practice data sets, they are not just random. It just helps you to say, I really worked on a real world scenario type of business, not just random, right? So you can see the three data sets that this particular project has. Then for this part, you can see the section one talks about installation and intro video. So you can see how to install Jupyter Notebook using Anaconda. There is so much guide, top to bottom. When you click the video, it plays exactly that. So let me just do a quick, I'm just going to off it. I just want you to see what it looks like. So that's what installation looks like. But when we come to the project videos itself, you can see the first one being project overview. And when you click on it, you're able to watch the guided process. And that's the same thing you do till you're done watching the entire. So that's what it looks like. She would walk you through the entire process of creating your project and submitting your own solution. When you're done, you click on submit your solution. So now after watching the project, the guided videos, you come here to submit what you have been able to come up with. You do your submission by, these are already pre-filled so that you don't go through the stress of, the system already knows the project category you worked on, the title, and even the brief description. All you have to do is just type in your own excerpt, which is describing more in detail what you have worked on right here. Upload your file, that's your project file. You can also embed like a link, maybe your Power BI link or any link to your dashboard that you'd like to embed. Then you can add more images, can be screenshots of your dashboard. Once you're done, you click on submit. After submission, you get automatically redirected to your portfolio page. When you get to your portfolio page, this is what you see. You see projects I have worked on, which Adeza has already showed us. Now, this is our job board. I'll quickly like to show us what the job board looks like. So this is our job board. It is only accessible to subscribed users, by the way. You get to see the different, like on a daily, we have over 100 jobs that is constantly fetched and refreshed on this page. Valid jobs, they are not random. So instead of you to be overwhelmed and try to understand how to navigate the industry, you can easily just come to Amdari job board and you're able to see on a daily, like I said, different jobs, job openings available at different places. So that's the amazing stuff we're doing at Amdari. And trust me, we still have a lot more that we're doing at the moment. We're still cooking behind the scene. And when the time is right, all of these updates will be very much visible to you. Yeah, it will be pretty much visible to you. So that's why we always preach that continuous learning is very important. Sorry, let me stop sharing because of these numerous tabs that is showing. So it's very important for you to keep on learning even after gaining the needed skill. It doesn't stop there. I am still learning, everybody's still learning, so it's important that we just stay abreast of the latest trends. I mean, 3 4 years ago, the rave about AI was not this much, but right now the rave is all over the place, right? So, and it's either you're tapping into what's in demand so that you don't stay out of job or you don't become irrelevant in the workspace. We need to keep making money, right? So your hand is raised.
Yes, sir. I just needed to chime in very quickly. So with the job boards, these are not your conventional jobs you find on LinkedIn or Indeed or Glassdoor. These are jobs from paid websites, paid platforms like the UK Visa Jobs, Job Rights, Flex Jobs. So ordinarily, you would not have access to these platforms, all right, because they are paid, except you're subscribed to them. So you have opportunities to access jobs that ordinarily you'd have to pay for. But we have done that for you and we're providing them to you. So you have the opportunity to apply to those jobs and get those opportunities, remote work opportunities, visa sponsored jobs across these three major areas. I just needed to add to that very quickly, Among.
All right, thank you so much, sir. So I see someone's question here. It says, after working on these projects, do we have anyone to review, like show you how to make it better? Okay, so Adeza has already responded. So like he said, right, the projects are already guided. So you have the step-by-step approach to working on the project and coming up with your own solution. And provided you're a subscribed user, you can also reach out to us at any time if you need us to maybe give you ideas, suggestion, guide you on anything, or you want to show us what you have worked on and you need us to review. I mean, we're always available. We have experts on the team that are readily available to, guide you through the entire process and make the navigation phase very easy for you. Then Daniel says, is the portfolio option available to only the paid package? No, it's actually available to all packages, like Adeza also already mentioned. So you're able to create your portfolio even with the monthly package, even with the free package, the two projects you work on, your portfolio is created with those two. It's just more for you to work on more projects. You need to, subscribe, and then with that access, you get to do so much more. And like I mentioned, we still have more updates coming in the coming weeks. We have things like hackathon coming up with amazing bonus at the end of reward in this case, right? So we have a couple of other things that we will be putting out there. So please just stay tuned with Amdari. Follow us across all social media platforms at Amdari_IO. We drop updates there. And if you're not a member of our community yet, please join the community. Also, if you need to ask more questions on how to subscribe, make payments, I will be dropping my WhatsApp number. Feel free to send me a message. If it's the community you want to join, please feel free to drop me a message. I'll send you the community link so that you can join that as well. But I'm dropping my number right now. All right, so I just typed in my number. So if you want to ask questions around payments and anything regarding that, please just do well to send me a message. Someone says, can we import other projects outside of Amdari to Amdari portfolio? It's one of the updates we're currently working on. So we started, putting that into place since a couple of weeks ago. So it's going to be live and when it's live, everybody will be notified. Like I said, please just stay updated with Amdari. We want more people to be able to use Amdari as that resource platform, even for your other projects that you've worked on in the past. So if you're able to upload it, share the link of Amdari to recruiters across social media. Just house all of your projects on there. So yeah, like I mentioned, updates on that will be shared. So my colleague just dropped our social media links. So please, you can follow. Like I said, updates are going to be dropped more subsequently. And if you don't want to miss out on all this, please follow us. And then take advantage of the discount that Adeza gave for everybody who is still on the call, the 50% discount. Again, if you need any answers to any questions, send me a message on WhatsApp. I dropped my number. Send us a DM also. My colleague will respond to you. And yes, I believe that's all for today. We don't have any more questions because I'm checking the chat. Okay, yes, we don't have any more questions. Is okay, someone says if you are stuck, the Amdari community can also help you. Definitely, he's not wrong on that. And I'm glad that Adeza also showed us a screenshot of somebody who had a question on the like it goes a long way. People answering your question the minute you drop, like, oh, I'm working on this. How do I import this data into this tool? How do I anything you're stuck about or confused about, the community is there to guide you. So please, like I mentioned, send us a message, follow us on Instagram. Community link will be shared. Evelyn, you can also drop the community link right here for them to join. Thank you very much, everybody. Adez, I don't know if you want to add any last words before we call it a close for today.
Yeah, so usually the most difficult step is the first step, taking that step to start. And there are multiple ways you can start. So the first advice I would give, or the best advice, my final words would be, go to the Amdari platform, subscribe. Okay, you can start with a free plan. Okay, and then within the space of 1 day, 2 days, because the code expires in 48 hours. So you can start with the free plan, work on projects, and eventually you get to subscribe. And I always advise people, you don't have to jump into the annual package at the beginning. If you can, fantastic, because that's where you get all the benefits. Well, you can start with a monthly package, get a feel of how you work on projects, how many projects you're going to complete, and eventually you can decide to go for the annual package. We always recommend the annual package because you get access to every single opportunity and guaranteed internship wherever you are. All right. So that's my final words for today. It's the weekend. Have an amazing time. Join the communities. Follow us across all platforms. Get started. That's the most important. And I would love to see how many people would take advantage of the discount code I have shared today. All right. What are the discount? Yeah, if you are into analytics, that's the best decision you've taken. Okay, because you would benefit from this, as well towards the end of your program. So you have nothing to worry about. All right. I think, Evelyn, you just have to post the community link before we leave. I guess some people are waiting for the link. So if you have the community link, just paste it in the chat, let people copy and paste somewhere. So you can join the community, join the WhatsApp group, be in the community, and you get to see how amazing you get to learn. Okay. So Mommy has dropped the community link. Click on that, join the community, interact with your contemporaries. You have fantastic people like Kasmir, Nana, Chidera, people who got internships, people who are there to support you, people who are there to guide you as well. So as you're working on projects, if you stumble on a problem, take a screenshot, post it in the community. Within seconds, you get that problem solved for you. Finally, make sure you get started. All right. So that'll be all from me on Mommy. Have an amazing weekend, and I hope you had an amazing time spending your Saturday with us today. If you had an amazing time, let's see the thumbs up. Give me your favorite emoji. Thumbs up. Absolutely fantastic. All right. Mommy, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you so much, everybody, for staying with us till the end. We really appreciate your time and we hope to do more. So, like Adeza said, please take the first action and the rest is going to just be steps are higher, and it gets better after the first step. It gets better. So we hope to see you guys on the Amdari platform if you're not already on the platform, and we hope to see more people get internship placement. So see you all and have an amazing weekend. Thank you, everybody. Bye. And by the way, tomorrow is my birthday, so wish me happy birthday in advance, guys. Wish me happy birthday in advance.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
long life and prosperity.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, thank you, Victoria. You're my namesake, by the way. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Kashmir. Thank you, everybody. Have an amazing
Happy
evening.
birthday, your mom.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.